Welcome to Evernear. Thanks for being here. Today we're going to be going into, I guess I could introduce us first. I'm Davis. I'm always here. And look at this.
I know.
They look similar
Who are you?
A little bit similar.
No.
Who are you?
I'm Risa.
And I'm Kara. Yeah, we're twins. Look at that.
They're not twins.
No, don't spread those lies.
No, actually,
Little gremlin.
Cousins. We're cousins.
Yeah, distantly related.
Yep, met the other day.
So, yeah. So today we're actually going to be going into mission stories and then how to prepare for a mission. So we have kind of age gaps, so you'll get a couple different types of missions. I was long ago, my first area had a flip phone. I was long ago. And they're much newer, so you'll get two different types of missions. So we'll go into stories. That'll be like, this is kind of just going to be story time, a lot of this episode.
Yeah! It'll be a party.
And then we'll talk about preparing for a mission. Mm-hmm. So let's start off with some like funny or amusing stories.
Okay.
If you want to start, or do you want me to start?
Risa.
Me?
Yeah,
okay.
put you on the spot immediately.
Sure, let's see. I literally wrote, so I was actually trying to find funny stories this morning. First of all, I only have like 2 funny stories that I remember. I have a lot of like funny quotes. The thing is that when you're a missionary, you don't have any other form of entertainment, so everything's funny. Yeah.
Your humor is a little twisted. So is your sense of music. You just kind of listen to the youth albums forever.
Which they're
Or at
good.
least you did.
But
do.
anyway. So my first story was in my first area, and I served in North Dakota, which doesn't help at all because my mission covered 5 different states. I was in North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Montana, and there's a little bit of Nebraska in my mission too.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot. But at that time, I was in South Dakota, and it was my first area, my first month in the mission, serving as a missionary, and me and my companion, we were just knocking on doors trying to find people who'd be interested, and we go out into the middle of nowhere because we had like a friend who used to be interested who lived out there, and we went and we knocked on their door and we were like, oh hey, come on in. They let us in and we went in, and they just took us through their house to their back door, and like as we walked into the house, they had a bunch of dogs which were really cute, but they just got up and followed us out into the backyard, and the owner was like, yeah, come on out here.
It sounds like the start of a horror story. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like, come out to my backyard.
No, but we go out and he's like, come take a look at this little cage. We've got some little ducklings and chicks. And I go, I'm like, oh, cute. And he's like, yeah. He opens it up and he's like, yeah, see, very cute. I'm like, cool. And then he moves on to another little pen thing. And he's like, and these are our goats. And he opens the pen and he lets out the goats. And then he goes over to another pen. And he's like, and this is our cow. And he opens up the pen, lets out the cow. And then he goes on down. So there's like cows, chickens, there's the pigs, there's the goats. And then I think that was it. There's the ducklings and the chicks. And then they vanish. The owners. Like, we're just surrounded by animals in this, like, little farm.
This is starting to a horror story.
But they just leave us there for, like, 15 minutes. And me and my companion were like, well, y'all need to hear about Jesus? And so we were so confused. And they showed up later with, like, some random person and like, actually we don't have time, so thanks for coming by. And we're like, okay, so we just left.
Cool.
They left us in their backyard full of animals just running wild, and we're like,
Nice.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad you didn't get eaten.
Me too.
Glad you survived.
Yeah, the cow was scary.
Cows are evil.
You know it, don't you?
They know what they're doing. They don't act like it, but they know.
Anyways,
that's not a mission story. So
No. Save that for later.
Let's leave with that.
you, me, you.
Meeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Okay, I'll go. So, let's start with a little bit of a preface. I am not a very, outgoing kind of person. I mean, I can be, but... So basically, I went into this church building, and we were waiting for the bishop to finish talking with somebody, and they were the elders. We decided to just chat with them a little bit, because we were bored. We probably should not have done that, but hey, whatever. So, at the time, my companion, this was about 9 months in, something like that. Less than, it doesn't matter. My companion at the time was short. She is quite short. And she decided to just try and touch the exit sign. And yeah, I had the little kid in me creep out at the moment. It was just I'm taller than you. So I showed her, I just reached up, tapped it. Nothing happened, right? It was perfectly fine. But then I was like, I'm gonna do it again. So I did it again, and I broke the exit sign. It's my 2 fingers were too powerful. Just snapped, hung there, and I was like, oh no. I'm a person who does not deal with breaking things that well. So I was just panicking, trying to fix it while the bishop was talking to some people. I was like, maybe I can fix it before he comes out, and he'll never know. He came out, he found out, and then he just never let me down. They replaced it a few weeks later, but he said, now, sister, doesn't that exit sign look so nice? It's just something different about it. So, yeah. That was a funny little thing.
Nice. So it was fast and testimony meeting.
Oh, goody.
And we were teaching this guy. I think this was actually his first time he came to church.
Oh.
And as a missionary, it's always kind of scary to take new people to fast and testimony meeting.
Yeah.
Because anyone in the congregation can get up and go say whatever they're thinking.
Yeah.
It's not always at all church related.
Yeah.
But so we get there, and our guy we're teaching is watching people walk up to the pulpit.
Oh.
Just random people are walking up. He sees this, so he gets up and he starts walking. And we're like, oh no. This is his first time to church. What is he going to say? Oh no. And he gets up there and he grabs some scriptures that were there and just starts glaring at everyone. And we're like, what's he going to say? What's he going to say? And then he's like, I really like the scriptures. They're really cool. And kind of pauses and looks at everyone. If you don't like the scriptures, it's not because there's something wrong with them. It's because there's something wrong with you. And then he goes and sits down.
Preach! No.
I'm just that's our investigator. we teach that guy. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Another one, we were walking into a correlation meeting. Basically, we would just meet with the ward mission leader every week to kind of see what we could help with the ward and what they could help us with. Mm-hmm. And we walk into the room and sit down, and our ward mission leader was old. He was so old. He had steel bars down his legs to stabilize his legs so he could walk.
Oh.
He was so old. But he was also really cool. But anyways, we're sitting there, we come into the room, and immediately it doesn't smell good.
Oh
no.
dear.
It doesn't smell good.
Oh no.
And we're like, huh. And my companion actually audibly sniffs. She's like,
oh no.
I look over him, then I look over it because it's bad. And our ward mission leader looks over at us. She's like, "Oh, sorry about that, elders. I was using the urinal and some poo came out the other side."
No.
He's so old. He was great though. Also a very scary driver. One more.
Okay, yeah, please.
Sorry, I have way too many stories.
You're totally fine.
So this one, I was with my companion, and we're walking down the street, and it's kind of cold, so we have jackets on. And this random lady kind of walks up to us, and so we obviously start talking to her, start trying to preach Jesus and stuff. And she's just kind of sitting there staring at my companion. And my companion was like a big dude. He was like 6'3", 6'4", like bodybuilder size. Like he was a big dude. And she's just sitting there staring at him for like 3 or 4 minutes. And then finally, she's just like, "Can you take off your coat?"
Oh my god.
We were just so confused that he actually did it because he didn't.
Yeah.
He was like kind of like takes his coat off a bit, and she looks at him, nods, and then starts walking away. I'm like, "What's that?"
Oh my god.
He's just like checking you out or something. Like, what was that? And then we start knocking in that area. And 5-10 minutes later, we knock on this door, and this lady opens the door. And she just gets the biggest grin on her face, and she's like, "You wait right here, I'll go get my Bible."
Oh my
Runs
gosh.
into the back, and we're like, this should be fine, right?
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
So we're sitting there, like 5 minutes pass by, kind of still sitting there, try to talk to someone who's on the couch, they just ignore us. Like 10 minutes pass by, we're like, "Where the crap is this woman?" "Oh,
really
I
had to
just take to
look
get
for
your
it."
Bible.
Yeah.
And then after like 15 minutes, finally, she comes back out, and I have never seen more makeup on a human being in my life.
Oh.
She just had so much, it was crazy. So she comes over, we start teaching her a lesson, but my companion can't talk because every single time he talks, she interrupts him and gives him a strange compliment like, "You got the most beautiful eyelashes I ever saw."
Oh my gosh.
Random things like that. So I'm the only one able to talk because the moment he starts trying to talk, she like interrupts him and gives him a weird compliment. And finally, after we're kind of done teaching her, we're walking away, and I'm just laughing so hard.
Oh my
and he's
gosh.
like punching me, telling me to shut up. It was super great. It was super funny.
Oh my gosh.
Luckily, I was always with the pretty or impressive companion, so I never got flirted with.
I feel that.
I always got it. Because, I mean, why would they go for me when he's standing next to me? It was funny. It was funny.
Oh yeah.
It was good.
But,
I got another one.
okay,
The
give
little
it to
kid one.
The little kid one. This was the end of my mission, probably like the last month or two of my mission. And I should preface, as a missionary, you've got a lot of rules to kind of keep you safe, right?
Yeah.
And kind of keep you not out of trouble, but keep you from getting in trouble.
Yeah.
And one of those rules is you can't be alone with a child. Like, you and your companion, you cannot be there in one room with a child by yourselves. You can be there with a parent, but that's it. So, this one time, me and my companion, we were having our lunch break or whatever in our apartment, and she was sleeping, just asleep in her bed. I was eating my food. I don't remember what else I was doing, but I was just sitting there at the counter, just chilling, and then out of nowhere, the door to our apartment opens. And we have other sisters, we used to have other sisters who lived in the same apartment, so I thought it was the other sisters. And I turned around, and I was like, "Oh!" It was this little, like, 5-year-old child that just straight up walked into our apartment. And I was like, "Hey, kid, what's up?"
You can't be here?
Yeah. So I, like, hurried over and, like, kind of ushered it to the door. It was like, it to the
Stay over there.
oh, God. I feel so bad because I couldn't tell if it was a boy or a girl.
That's what he said.
Oh my gosh, no. So I kind of just like ushered it over. I think it was a him. By the end of the day, I discovered it was a him. But, and I was like, "Where's your parents? What are you doing here?" And he just kept saying, "Yeah, yes." That's all he could say. Or like, "I don't know." And I was like, kid, you're not helping. I was like, do you know where your parents are? Yeah. I was like, solid. Go home. Shut the door. I just shut the door. I was like, problem solved. I was a 19-year-old kid, okay? I don't know what I'm doing with kids. But I go back to the counter and I sit there. I'm like, okay, we're chilling. And I keep eating, and then the door opens again.
You didn't lock it?
No. You should have locked it. I know. He comes back in. I was like, dog, no, what are you doing? So I was like, okay, just, it's good to see you again, man. Just sit there for a sec. I gotta go get my companion because I'm by myself with this kid. So I go into our bedroom and I wake up my companion. I was like, there's a child in our apartment. I just walked in. I don't know what to do with it. And so she gets up and we go and we talk to the kid and we're like, where are your parents? And I had no idea where his parents were. So we kind of just took him to the police, who apparently lived in our same apartment complex. They were just like down the way or whatever. And we went and we brought the kid with us. And so we just hung out as they were trying to find the parents, and we just played with this kid in the apartment or in the police room or whatever. And I was like, this is not how I expected to be spending my day playing with a child that just walked into my apartment. They found his parents eventually.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
A wandering child. That's crazy.
Yeah. Do you have any more stories?
There was, this is a very fast one. I don't really remember much of my funny stories. It was more of a crazy mission. But on my third day in, like after getting off the airport 3 days later, I met my first police officer. Mm-hmm. Basically, a reflector like that had come off of the road had flipped up into the bottom of our car while we were driving on this kind of a highway kind of thing. And so we had to pull over because we were hearing it grinding against the asphalt as it was stuck in the bottom of our car. Mm-hmm. And so we were like, that's not good. So we pulled off. It's a pretty busy road. So the officer came like just 5 minutes after we pulled over, and they're like, everything all right? And I was like, perfectly fine, waving the reflector in his face. There's this metal reflector. He's like, I'm going to take that from you. So it's just like this crazy interaction of like, I did not expect to meet a police officer in my third day into the mission, and yet he seemed pretty chill. He didn't even think about,
He'd probably
these
seen
two girls.
wilder things
That's
in
true.
Washington.
Oh yeah, that's true. I was in Washington. It's a little crazy. They like their eclectic manners. No offense, I love Washington. But yeah, so that was just something that I like to tell people. I once ran into a police officer.
Not literally.
No, I did not hit a police officer. Please.
Ran him down with my car.
No, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Let's go to the next topic of stories.
Let's do it.
Except, you're just like the rules thing just made me think of one more real quick.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, the very first day I was in South Carolina, the very first day I was on my mission, wasn't even assigned my trainer yet. They had us like go out and just randomly talk to people on the first day. And I remember we were talking, just this big, happy, I feel like jolly is a good word, jolly black lady. And I like bore my testimony of Jesus Christ. And in South Carolina, if you talk about Jesus, people will either point a gun at you or love you. So I kind of bear my testimony of Jesus, and she just loved it. And she like wraps me up in a bear hug, and I'm like, I'm not supposed to do this. What's going on? Help me, person that's with me. I was like, my first day in the mission, I'm already going to get sent home.
Unbelievable. How could you do that?
Hey, broke our rules.
Because you're not supposed to be like hugging the opposite gender or anything, that's kind of a mission thing. Yeah. So
oh my gosh.
it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I mean, later looking at it, it's like, that wasn't a big deal. It's just like this happy lady just hugged me. It's fine.
Yeah.
But it was my very first day in the mission, and I was so scared.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the next topic of stories is either scary or crazy stories. So
Cool. I already have some on mind.
Oh, good. Good.
I mean, I guess it's scarier too, but like at the same time, in the moment, I was
It can
like,
be both.
yeah. So this was when I was in North Dakota, but I was like on the border. I was in North Dakota and Minnesota, but at that point I was in North Dakota, and funny enough, I was like down the street from the church building. But I was knocking an apartment with my companion, and it was dark. It was late. It was like 8 p.m., which low-key sucks when you're a missionary and you have to go out and you have to knock later at night.
Yeah, because
Nobody
pitch black.
wants to hear you. Especially when I was in North Dakota, it gets dark around like 4 p.m. And everyone's going to bed around 5 p.m. Nobody wants company after that. But I was knocking, and we knocked into this guy. He was this huge guy, really tall, really old, really hairy. Looked like a werewolf.
Do you like not have a shirt on or something?
Oh, he had like a tank top on.
Okay.
But he was very like, he had a beard and wild hair, and his arms were hairy and everything. So, yeah, so you understand. But he also had just wild eyes, and I was like, this is gonna be good. You tend to see a lot of wild people on your mission.
Yeah.
So we just kind of started talking. We're like, hey, how's it going and everything? And he's like, you interrupted me while I was sleeping. And we're like,
Yes, and?
cool. Yeah, right? And he's like, you shouldn't be around here unless you got one of these. And he pulls out a gun. And we're like, oh. And he points it at us and he starts waving around and he's like, you guys interrupted me while I was sleeping. What do you think you're doing here? He's just like going off, and we're like, sorry, have a good day. Good night. Okay. Bye.
Back away slowly.
Don't shoot.
Yeah. Take care. God bless. And eventually he's like, screw it or whatever, and he just shuts the door, and we're like, well, that's sick. And we just keep knocking. You're a missionary. What do you do?
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
It's like, I almost died. Okay, go to the next door.
Yep, exactly. Who's next?
You or me?
You go ahead.
Okay. Which one? I'll still tell the short one first and then the longer one after you tell it.
Okay.
So, me and my companion, we were trying to find places to knock on doors, and we found like a random dirt road that went out into
Love
the
those.
trees, and we folled it.
Did you follow
And there
a breadcrumb trail to like a gingerbread house? There's a lady cooking up some
witch.
stew. She was like, I'm gonna have you for dinner.
Yeah, but there were some random trailers out in this forest that we went up to. And
Oh,
it's
love
like,
it.
oh, cool. And
We love trailer park knocking.
yeah, right? So we knock on a couple doors. One guy, total gangster, like the teeth. He had like metallic teeth. He had the bling.
That's sick.
like,
Yeah.
lets us in. We're talking to him for a bit, and then he starts using us like a Catholic confessional.
Oh,
Just like confessing his
Oh.
things he had done to us.
hard.
And he got to one that completely, absolutely terrified my companion. To me, I'll just continue. I'll tell you after. So he got to one thing he was confessing, that he actually killed 2 Jehovah's Witnesses
Whoa.
because his gang was going to kill him if he didn't kill them.
Oh.
And here we are, 2 missionaries sitting in his living room,
Yeah.
and he's telling us about killing other missionaries. It was a little bit concerning.
Yes.
So after that, we get out of there alive.
Good.
And my companion is just like, he's beside himself. He doesn't know what to do. And I'm like, so when are we going back? And he's like, we're not going back. He was offended that I would even consider like going back to this guy's house. But that was a little concerning, a little comical to me. I was desensitized to like life-threatening situations at that point.
Yeah.
But like, that is concerning.
Yeah.
Very concerning. It's
little
like,
bit.
hey, missionaries, I killed some missionaries.
Just so you know.
What?
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
So,
Kind of on the topic of that. In my last area, it was like this. We called it the hood of our mission, right? It had its nickname.
that was most of my mission.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah. But for this place, like even at the beginning of my mission, someone had asked me, "Where would you not want to go on your mission?" And I said that place. But I finished my mission there, and honestly, I loved it because it's so crazy out there, and I was just ready. I was pumped for something new. But while I was there, I was with a less active member, and she had called us up. I think she just wanted some Bible studies or something. I don't really remember what it was. So me and my companion went over, and we were reading the scriptures with her, and we heard gunshots in the distance. Like, not that far away, but still pretty far away.
At least a block, right?
Yeah, something like that. It's like, and this lady just kept going on like it was a normal occurrence. We're like, you don't say. And my companion was terrified. She did not want to go back. You can see the similarities there. And I was like, why? I mean, it's just gunshots. It's not over here.
It'll buff.
It's not that loud.
You're not shooting at us.
It's in the distance.
She's like, next time, send the elders. And I was like, fine. Okay. They'll take care of it. So yeah, we did. We never actually went back to visit her, but yeah.
Yeah, oh man, I loved ghetto places.
They're fun.
They were always the most interesting.
True that. Oh my gosh. Well, here's the thing, is that I think a lot of sisters, they worry about like running into people, like men who use them and everything, which is valid. I was fortunate enough to not be around that. But there was a time, one of my companions, it was my last area again, so I was old and was ready to take on everything and anything.
Yeah.
But she was telling me about these apartments that she refused to ever knock. It was her experience. I never experienced it. But she was telling me about it because she wanted me to keep everyone else out of it. And I was like, how about we send the elders?
Rude.
But anyway, so she said that she and her former companion were knocking in that apartment, and they knocked. It wasn't like a crazy scary apartment complex. It was a nicer place than places I've been and seen. But they knocked into this one guy who was either drunk or high. I have no idea. But you kind of tend to see that more in cheaper apartments and anywhere. But so this guy opens the door, and they kind of looked at him, and he's like, "Oh, sisters, come in." And he tries grabbing them, but it doesn't work. For some reason, his hands just won't grip them. Like he can't get a hold.
Huh.
Which, that was God.
Yeah.
That was angels. But her companion knew exactly what was going on, and she was freaking out, and she was like, "We have to get out of here. We have to go right now." But my companion at the time, she couldn't move. She was terrified. She was frozen. So the guy was trying to grab my former companion, but he just couldn't. And eventually, the other sister just grabbed my companion, and they ran away. But that was God. That was a sign that God protects missionaries.
Yeah.
That is without a doubt. He understands if you are careful and if you're trying to be safe, he will protect you throughout all of the hard things. But she told me about that, and I was like, let's send the elders. Let's send the elders over. Because you have to be wary of that and all that. But at the same time, there's people you could teach in that place. Anyway.
So you didn't go yourself?
Oh, I knocked the other apartments except that one. Yeah.
There you go. Missionaries are definitely protected. Mm-hmm. I have like a dozen guns and knives and all sorts of stuff to prove that he protects us. I have never been in so many life-threatening situations on my mission. In fact, one where he definitely protected us through making the spirit shout at us, basically.
Oh.
So we're walking down this foresty street, just so it happened.
My gosh.
South Carolina, like 30% to 40% of the streets are foresty streets.
Wow, you picked those ones.
It was a full moon.
Werewolf?
It was after night. Like
Or a guy who
we
thought he
could
was a
see
werewolf.
the full moon.
Yeah.
And we're joking about all the monsters and things that come out on the nights of the full moon.
Of course.
Because, of course you would. I mean,
Duh.
and we get to this street, knock a few houses, no one answers, get to the last house. I remember we stepped onto the driveway and my companion looked over at me and he's like, Elder, how do you feel about this house? She's like, very clearly uncomfortable. And me being very clearly oblivious was like, I don't know. We could knock on it. We're missionaries. That's what we do. Like, totally oblivious. And he's like, okay. So we start going up this porch. And I remember there's a few steps up onto the porch. And I got to like the second step. He was a little bit further right in front of the door. And I remember he was just sitting there with his fist raised, like not moving, just there. I don't know if time stopped for a second or if he was frozen with fear. I don't know what was going on there. But finally it clicked like, hey, something is off. And I start looking around and there's a big bay window right next to the front door where you can see into this front room. And this front room is lit only by candlelight. And the only thing in this front room is one high back chair with someone sitting there.
Ooh.
Nothing else.
What?
And as I looked into this really creepy looking front room, I just got the worst or tied for the worst feeling I've ever had in my life. Just this complete feeling of evil.
Ooh.
And I knew we had to get out of there.
Yeah.
And right at that moment, my companion, the other missionary, turns around. He's like, Elder, we have to run. So we just started running. Oh my God. And I was like, South Carolina, summer, even at night, it's hot and muggy. I was freezing that entire night until I fell asleep. Like I could not get warm.
That's wild.
Oh.
There was something in that house.
Yeah.
And the Spirit, the Lord, shouted us to run.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's wild.
So, very, very interesting experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Lord does look out for you.
Yes.
Usually doesn't shout, but sometimes he does. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was good.
I got one more story on my end. I've talked to you about it before on one of these things. It was when I hit the deer. But it's just another testament of how the Lord protects his servants. Because we were driving late at night on this road that was like at least 50 miles an hour. I don't actually remember the details of that. We were just going down dark. There was nobody on the road when suddenly a deer like stepped into our headlights. And we were going to go straight at it, like dead on. What? Yeah, okay. English does not come naturally to me, apparently. But anyway, so we were going to hit it just straight on, and it would have cracked the windshield, but somehow, the car had moved, or my hand had jerked. I had no conscious thought, no action on my end that I can recall of the car just moving, so it only hit the side. And the door that my companion was at, because I was driving, the door to the passenger side had been crunched, so it could not open at all. And after we hit it, we had to pull off to the side. I had a panic attack, as you do, as one does. And she was like, let's go see the body. I was like, what? Well, she wanted to make sure to see if it was dead. And well, frankly, it wasn't. So it's like, and that like brings up the legend of the zombie deer of Port Townsend, but that's a whole different story. But so yeah, as I thought about it later, I was like, yeah, we were going to hit that deer straight on. It would have broken the windshield. It would have hurt us. It had antlers. It would have hurt us, but we were fine physically. And so that was just a crazy testament to me. And then I got to like testify of that, the strength and protection that the Lord gives us later on at like a zone conference. But
Nice. So these next two topics we'll do before we kind of talk about preparing for a mission a little bit. The next one is hard. It's like why a mission was hard type of stories. I guess I just want to mention a few things, not necessarily a story, just mention a few things, and then we can tell some stories. But just like, well, actually, most of these probably could turn into stories. Never mind, let's just tell stories.
I think there are a few different variables, but the ones that come to my mind specifically are the companions you're with and the circumstances of where you go and kind of that timing. You're eager to move on in different places. Because for me in my mission, so it was the Tacoma, Washington mission. And the areas that I served in were Port Townsend, Port Angeles, South Hill, which is like around, it's close to Tacoma, and then Lakewood. The hood. A favorite place. But anyway, just because it's wacko. So I had started my mission in Port Townsend, which is like tippy top. It's a nice, beautiful place. It's very close. It's right by the water. That's really it. And so I was there for 6 months. And I was like, okay, great place to start and serve a big chunk of my mission at. It's like, let's move on. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go somewhere different. I needed change. And so I left. I went to some other places, or just one other place for a few more months. And then transfers came along and I went back. I went back to the stake that Port Townsend was in. It's called the Port Angeles stake. And I was in Port Angeles itself. And I was there for a few months before then going back to Port Townsend. And I served there for another 4.5 months. So I was in that stake for a year. And I did not expect that. Nobody would have, I think. So like people knew me thoroughly in that stake. They would see me, they're like, you're not gone yet? Like, the lingo I know, like the lingo of missionaries is you die when you finish your mission, and plenty of missionaries are like, you're not dead yet? Like, well, thanks for your confidence. But I was there for so long, and I felt like my patience was running thin. Because when you're in an area for so long, you get burnt out. You feel like there's nothing else you can do. You've knocked every door, literally.
Yep.
You've been to every store, you've talked to almost every person, and you feel like there's nothing else that you can do. And while I was there, I felt myself kind of falling apart at that point. And that was also when I hit the deer. And so I was just like emotionally traumatized. I was so stuck. But what helped me get out of it was turning to the members. And that was kind of the way of me like saying, okay, so we're not having a lot of success in teaching people, but maybe I can strengthen the members. I can strengthen myself. I can not fall inward into the self-deprecating, being like, why am I back? Did I fail the first time? Did I just utterly suck as a missionary and I'm trying to fix my mistakes? No. There's just more that I could have done that I can do now that I probably couldn't have done before because I know something new. And so that was something for me. Maybe anticipate being in an area longer than you think. And, just dealing with some companions that can try you in new ways. But once you learn to love them, which is a very hard thing to do sometimes, once you learn to love them and get to know them as God sees them, it's remarkable. You change. You are not yourself anymore. You are a disciple of Jesus Christ. So that kind of turned into a testimony.
That's beautiful.
Moving on. Who's next?
You are.
I'll do a couple short ones, and then I'll do my longer one after you get one.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that makes a mission hard. Some more serious, others less serious. Like, depending where you go, it can be so hot.
Valid.
So hot. I remember walking down the street feeling like I just got out of the shower, even though I hadn't been in the shower for hours. Just so sweaty and gross. Jeez. My companion would be like taking the little Jesus pass-along cards out and squeegeeing his face with them.
You can do that?
And then putting them indoors.
Oh!
No one's going to keep that card.
No.
It's like, why is it? Oh, this is soggy.
Well, maybe they would think it was just the humidity of the air.
Yeah, it's like it can be so hot. On the opposite end, it can be very, very cold. It can be very cold. I remember working in the rain all day long, my feet being so wet all day. Like at the end of the day, they were just raw.
Oh my god.
Because being wet all day and walking all day on wet feet, just raw.
It's no bueno.
And not only that, but I mean, companions. I had a companion who decided to stop taking all of his medications when he became my companion, and he was taking more than one. So that was very, very difficult. And I mean, the rejection.
Oh, yeah, that's so true.
I probably talked to more than 10,000 people on my mission. I would not be at all surprised if I was up there, because there was literally days we would talk to like hundreds of people.
Oh my gosh, wow.
It's like, I talked to so many people.
Yeah.
And the amount of doors slammed in my face, the amount of weapons pulled on me, the amount of times I was ambushed by people who wanted to just try to destroy my faith. You get so much rejection.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hard things that happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how about you? What's
gosh.
one? I'll come back to the really hard one for me after.
Sure. First of all, I totally agree with what you're saying about like all of that. But let's see. There were a lot of hard things for my mission. Funny enough, I was actually reading my journals this morning because I was trying to come up with more stories, because I have like a lot of spiritual stories on my mind that I'd love to share. But I was like, I need funny stories and scary stories. But I was reading through my journal, and the whole like first half of my mission was really, 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 really hard for me. It was transformative, is what it was, which I'm really grateful for now as I look back. It changed me to who I am today. But in the very beginning, I struggled a lot with feeling lonely. I was used to having a twin with me 24/7. So, and then getting put into a situation with people I don't know, put into a place I've never been, I don't know anything about it. All of a sudden, I literally know nothing and I feel useless and I am just lost. And in my first area, my first trainer, she was so funny. She was crazy, but I needed somebody who could support me, and she could not do that. She was not emotionally capable of helping me. So I ended up just falling into despair, and I was so sad for a long time. And then that kind of just went through, that just kind of stuck around for a good 9 months as I was trying to find out who I was, my purpose, what I could do, because I felt like I was in the shadow of my companions for a good chunk of my mission, a good long time. Because I went from my first area to my second area, and in that second area, I was put into a very new place. We were sent there to just start the work. No missionaries had ever served there, like no sisters had ever served there. There had been elders, but we didn't have anything. We didn't have anyone. We were new. Both of us were new, and at that point, maybe like 3 months in, and the president of our mission, was like, "Yep, have fun," and we're like, "No." Okay. Right. But we show up, and I think that was just a trial of my faith as I was trying to find out who to look to in hard times. And I looked to the wrong place. And that happens. And when you do that, you tend to fall farther. And I did. I fell so far. And I didn't realize until much later, after I left that area, when I was moved into Montana, actually, and I was put with my best friend now, because she was the right person for me. She helped me get out of that pit I put myself into. And she helped me find out who I was, my purpose, my identity, and that is that I am a child of God, that I have a purpose in all things, and I can't compare myself to other people. I had great companions, but I thought that I was never good enough for them. I was never good enough for the work. I was never good enough for the Lord because I kept failing, kept messing up. And I felt like I could never find people, and I was confused as to why I was serving if I couldn't succeed in the work. But my new companion, my best friend, helped me realize that I can do more than just the average missionary, like what you might assume a missionary does. It's beyond just knocking doors. It's beyond going around saying hi to everyone. It's service. It's being friendly. It's caring when others don't. And that taught me that, well, eventually, like, I don't know, just within the last few years, as I go back and I think about all those hard times, I realized that made me compassionate. That made me care about those who feel lost and those who feel lonely, because we all do, one way or another.
Yeah.
Preach.
Thanks.
Yeah. No, it can be so hard. I mean, I definitely want to talk about why it's worth it too.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
I know when I was out there, I had never experienced like depression before my mission. The most depressed I ever got is one time I finished all the fantasy movies I wanted to, and I just didn't know what to watch, and I got really sad that day. That was
tragic.
That was like the worst depressed I remember being. But when I was out there, I started getting this severe depression. I didn't even really know what it was because I had never experienced it before, but I started getting completely miserable. Like, getting out of bed was terrible. Trying to be a missionary when I was completely apathetic, had no desire for anything, constantly felt like, honestly, it'd be easier to not be alive. Like, just such emotional pain that I didn't even understand, and felt like it was even worse because I was out there serving the Lord, doing what I thought was right, and I felt like I was getting punished for it. And I can remember so many days, like almost for months, pretty much every day when we'd come home for lunch, I would just be in the bathroom crying, hoping my companion didn't hear me. And it was absolutely miserable. It was a living nightmare for months and months and months. I tried to come home, in fact. Like, I was set on coming home because I could not stand being out there anymore. It was so horrible. And luckily, some people kind of almost forced me to stay out there, which I am actually grateful for. But it was not good at all. And trying to be a missionary on top of being in that state of mind, it's hard to even explain how difficult it was. I remember many times where I was literally sitting there praying to the Lord to let me die. I was so miserable. I was asking the Lord to kill me, basically. But through that experience, through being the lowest I have ever been, it taught me how to actually pray to God. Like, I actually learned how to pray because of that. Like, yes, I knew how to pray, but like, I have never felt my prayers being so real than during those months. Never felt so much like attention from the Lord than in those 3 months or 6 those months. And I just remember like that was one of the only things that gave me any kind of peace at all, was just talking to God. Even if a lot of the time it was just telling him how bad it was. Missions can be so difficult. You're going to face so many things you've never faced before and may never face again.
Yeah.
Like, so difficult. But like the lessons you learn from it, like even if they're hard, it is so worth it. Like there is nothing I had done in my life to that point that was even close to as worth it. Not only for me, but other people too. The people I was able to reach. But for me, even just looking at it selfishly, like for me, those 2 years that I was out there were the most transformative years I had had up until that point in my life. Before then, I was very caught up in just like the usual worldly, daily things, the things that don't really matter that much, like wanting to fit in, or like
Watching your favorite TV show.
watching like the entertainment, like these things that just they don't really matter that much in the long run. And like I remember through my mission, it got to the point where I really did start to know the Lord a lot more. I mean, when I had a realization that my biggest fear had become that I was worried when I passed on that the Lord wouldn't greet me as a faithful servant, when I realized that had become my biggest fear in my life, it's like, I obviously really care about this stuff now. I obviously really care about this. My mission meant everything to me. And despite how miserable it was at times, I would not trade it for anything. There's nothing I would trade it for.
Amen.
So it is worth it.
Oh, for sure.
It is worth it to go.
I think no matter how long you're there, no matter what happens, no matter what type of mission you're in, whether it's service or it's proselyting, or even if you don't serve a mission at all, you can learn from that experience. Because we have someone in our family who did not serve a mission, but I think that they had the experience that they needed to get to know Jesus Christ on their own. Because the Lord knows what is best for us. So he will put the situations in front of us, or not, well, he takes advantage of the situations.
He will allow
He's an opportunist. That's what I've heard. He's an opportunist in the best way possible. If you hit a deer, he's going to make you learn something from it. If you face something that really hurts your soul, or somebody that really irks you, he's going to help you learn something from it if you allow him to change you. So no matter if you're on a mission for 2 weeks, a month, 16 months,
18 months.
18 months.
24 months.
24 months, 19 months, no matter how long, no matter how many you do, if you do a senior mission or anything like that, just take advantage of it. Do as the Lord would. Learn what you can, because it's special. Just like what you said. I would not give this mission up for anything. That's something that I also came to realize. At some point, I was like, I believe. I know it's true. I know it's real, and I cannot give this up. I would much rather give up what I have at home than give up the gospel in my faith. And that was something that I had to realize on a mission. Somebody else can realize that in some other way. So that was just my 2 pence. Amen.
Yeah. Even if you're afraid to go on a mission, because it is hard, there's so much that'll make up for how hard it is. I mean, like there's plenty of funny and crazy stuff, but that's not as important as
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
is what you will become.
Yes.
Because those 2 years, because of the struggle, because of everything you're doing, there's not really any other period of 18 months or 2 years that you will grow that fast. Like you can grow anytime, anywhere, but because of how a mission is structured, there's few other places or times where you can get closer to the Lord that quickly.
Yeah.
So that alone, if there was nothing else, the change it will take you through would make it all worth it if that was the only thing that was involved for you.
Yeah.
But also there's some really sweet experiences too. There's some very spiritual, very amazing experiences. You wanna go into one of those?
You know I
Because
do.
we're yeah.
Okay. So what I immediately thought of when you texted me the other day, texted us, I've had so many spiritual experiences from my mission. I hope you understand, when you go out and you serve the Lord, that means that the Lord is with you every day. So those miracles are in every day. But this was one that helped me realize who Jesus Christ is to me. So this was my last area. I think it was my second to last transfer, so I was with probably the hardest companion I've ever had. Because at that point I was go. I was used to running around. I was a hardworking missionary, not perfect, but
Really?
yeah. No, but she was struggling a lot more, and I had to have patience, and I had to put up. No, I can't say that. I had to slow down and give her charity and trust that it was God's will that I was there for her at that time. There was one day I was so mad. Dog. I was gonna kill something, with all due respect, but you weren't there.
No.
So I had gotten to a point in my mission where I hated the idea of being angry. And at that time, I was also planning to go to the temple the next day. And the thing is, in my mission, the temple is really far away. Wherever I served, I was like 3, 4, 5 hours away from the temple, my whole mission. But God always made it possible for me to go somehow, so I went like 3 or 4 times, which was a miracle. That's
It's
not
pretty
always
cool.
the case. Yeah.
I don't think I went once. Maybe once. Once or none.
Oh, that makes me sad. Okay, but we had some friends who were getting sealed together. So, and that was happening the next day, but we had to drive the 4 hours back to Bismarck so we could go to the temple with them. But that was the next day. And so the night before, I was praying so hard. Oh my gosh, because I was so frustrated with her, and I was so frustrated with myself because I was frustrated with her. I was frustrated with my situation. I was angry. But I knew I had to give it all to God because I wanted to go to the temple, and I wanted to go with a peaceful heart. I wanted to go, and I wanted to be happy because this was a special time for me, and I wanted nothing more. That's everything I wanted. And so I begged. That night, I was praying so hard. I was laying it all out. I was like, God, I'm so angry. Just take it away. Just take it all away. I'm done. I don't want any of it. And then I went to bed. Go to sleep. It's in the scriptures.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember which scripture it is. But anyway. So I went to sleep, and that night I had a dream. And it was an extremely special dream to me. You can tell because I'm getting emotional. But I didn't see God. I didn't see Jesus. But I saw something that symbolized Jesus Christ. And in my dream, I testified to myself that He is light. He is peace. He is the hope that comes every morning, that sets every day. He is the sun. And I woke up the next day, and I was like, well, great. That was a cool dream or whatever. And then we started driving to Bismarck, and my companion was driving. I was sitting in the passenger seat, and I was like, there was something about that dream that hit different. So I started writing it down. I wrote down everything that I could remember. I typed it out on my phone. And as I was sitting there, and as I was typing it out, all of a sudden the Spirit hit me so hard. And I knew that that was God telling me I can find peace through Jesus Christ. He is the light. He is the way. And in that moment, the anger started to just melt away. it just left me. I felt so peaceful, so hopeful. I've never felt that before. But it was beautiful, and I've never forgotten it to this day. That is who Jesus Christ is to me.
I think it was kind of interesting that most of the spiritual experiences come from difficult experiences.
Yeah.
What's
Kind of interesting. The first one kind of doesn't sound spiritual, but it kind of is.
If it's important to you, what can I
So
say?
it's like, so let me say, I've never had like night terrors. I've never had anything like that. But I remember one night I woke up and I couldn't move. I couldn't talk. I couldn't even really breathe. It felt like I was getting suffocated. And I just had this impression that I needed to like say the name of the Lord, but I couldn't talk. So I just started thinking like his name, just the name of Jesus Christ, and just starting to thinking whatever was going on, like if there was something there, which I kind of think there was, it like started to back off. And then I was able to speak out loud, and I said his name out loud, and whatever it was just ran. It fled. And that, like, possession, I don't know, but it was really, really interesting to see, because I learned just simply the name of Christ has so much power. Just his name, that's it. Like, just saying his name. Just his name chased away something evil. And that was, even though it sounds kind of strange, like that was actually a very, like thinking back on it, a spiritual experience, because I learned how much power there is in the name of Christ. And I have another one I can go into real quick. This one's a little bit more, but
Do it.
so we went and we talked to a member of the ward, and he was telling us, oh, I have a friend, you should go see him. I'm like, that's great, you should come with us.
Yeah,
And he's like,
fellowship.
no.
Oh.
I'm like, okay. So we show up to this guy's house. He opens the door, just this old guy. He had like the monk mohawk or monk cut where it's like bald in the middle, some hair around the sides.
Yeah.
Very old. He didn't even have teeth. We saw that later. But very, very old. And as he opens up the door, he's just like glaring at us. It looks like he wants to destroy us, like kill us or something. Such an angry look. But he invited us in.
Oh.
So we go in and we're teaching him, we're talking to him. The entire time, it's kind of like talking to ourselves, because he's just glaring at us the entire time. Doesn't say really anything. The end of the lesson, we go, we say goodbye. We don't even set up like a return appointment, because we're obviously this guy does not want us there. So we leave. Around the exact same time, the following day, we get a call from a random number, and we're like, wonder who it is.
Hello.
We pick up, and it's this guy, and he's like, where are you? I'm waiting.
What?
What?
What do you want to be?
We're coming? So we go, and it was like a copy of the first time. He just glares at us, we teach him, and nothing. He's just glaring at us. Like, we have no idea what is going on with this man.
Yeah.
He doesn't look happy that we're there, but he called us and told us to come. When he did talk, he would make very concerning comments, because we think they were jokes, but he had no facial expressions. And he would say things like, I'm going to get my bat and beat you. Like, like stuff like that. Was that a joke? Your facial expression did not change at all. And like, he was the grumpiest old man I think I have ever met. I would never have wanted to spend time around this man. I wouldn't have spent time around this man unless I was a missionary like I was. But something really interesting started to happen. As we continued to come and continued to teach him, he went from this super grumpy, angry old man to starting to smile, starting to want to be with other people at church. He started reading the scriptures. He started praying. And like his entire, I want to say personality, like he just completely changed. He went from that to like a happy person who was joking and wanting to be with people, wanting to serve people, like someone who I actually would want to spend time with as compared to when we met him. And that was such a powerful experience, because if the gospel could take that grumpy, angry old man and turn him into a happy person, there must be something to it. There must be something to it. And that was a very, very strong experience, very spiritual experience, to see that change in someone when they got a hold of the gospel.
Yeah.
So the story that keeps coming to my mind actually happened in the MTC. In the days before my district were starting to go to our missions, there was the time that we're supposed to, bear testimony to one another. It's like, I don't know why it's ritualistic. I don't know why they do that. Actually, probably just like for the sake of, this is what I've learned. This is, me growing to strengthen one another before we head out and part ways and such. But they talked about it, and I had some great anxieties beforehand. I felt like I could not share the gospel. I still didn't really know why I was a missionary or why I was supposed to go to Washington. I didn't understand why it was me that had to go, why I couldn't just stay in Orem or Provo. So I was very stressed about it before the time came. And when we were all sitting in the room, it's just this big room and desks and such with all these other missionaries, these elders, these sisters, and I had come to really love them deeply in such a short amount of time. 2 weeks was all that I had, right?
Something like that.
2 to 3,
2 to 3, yeah.
One was online.
That's right. So I was just shocked internally by the change in myself, that I had grown to love people so quickly when I am a person that just doesn't trust naturally. Fast, quickly. Anyway, and while they were all sharing their testimonies, a fear gripped my heart where I just didn't know what to say. I felt like I was insignificant, like there was nothing that I could do to really express what I knew, because I felt like I knew so little. And I got up to speak, but I didn't speak. I paced in front of them. And I felt my heart start to tear out of my chest, and I was upset with myself. And so I asked the teacher if I could leave. I broke the rules. I walked out without my companions. But I really needed it, because as I stepped out, the door closed behind me. I went into a separate room and I just cried. I wept because I didn't feel ready. I was scared of leaving. I was petrified. I was no teacher. I believed that I could not share my testimony. I didn't even know what my testimony was. All I knew was that I was leaving my family, I was leaving my friends, I was leaving my twin, I was leaving everything behind. For what? That's what I kept asking myself. Until slowly the prayer started to change to, Father, I will go. I will do what you need me to do, but I need you to give me the strength. I need to know that you are there. My companions came out after a little bit. They hugged me, they embraced me. They told me that nobody can force my testimony out of me. That was something that stuck with me throughout my mission. I don't really know why, but it was important to me. And as we walked out, as we chatted with the elders and the sisters, as we shook hands, because you can't hug the elders, can't hug the sisters. I mean, we can hug sisters, but anyway. There was a tune running through my brain. It was How Firm a Foundation. Specifically the verse that goes, I'll strengthen thee, I'll help thee.
Cause thee to stand.
Cause thee to stand. just that phrase right there just kept running around in circles in my brain. And it took me several steps before I realized that it wasn't my brain. Like, I didn't even think about it. It was just like, it just like crept in until eventually until eventually I understood what was going in my brain. And I stopped and I started to cry again. I'm sure my companions were like, what is wrong with Sister Walton? What are you doing? But I saw that as an answer. I knew that the Lord was telling me through one of my languages of song, of music, that he was going to be there with me on my mission. He was going to strengthen me. He was going to uphold me and give me the power that I needed, even though I was so terrified, even though I was afraid of sharing vulnerabilities of myself. He was going to open me up. And he did. I saw that at the end of my mission. Alma 26, verse 11 and 12. I will boast in my God because he changed me.
The change you go through, like, even if it's not a requirement, even if it's not like you have to go on a mission, you are doing not only the people who you could help a disservice, but you're doing yourself a disservice. And I'm not saying that, like, you should feel condemned if you don't go on a mission. I mean, President Monson, a prophet of our church, did not serve a mission until he was married. Like,
that's cool. I didn't know that.
he didn't serve a mission as a young man.
Huh.
He went into the military instead.
Oh, that's right.
It's like, you don't have to serve a mission to be a good member of this church or a force for good for God. You don't have to. But if you do, it's just giving you an advantage. Mm-hmm. An advantage I feel like is everyone should take.
Yeah.
Everyone should take that advantage. Whether you're a man or a woman, like, you should.
Highly recommend.
You should.
Yeah.
There is few other places throughout your entire life where so much will be packed into 2 years. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to mention one more. You could both mention one more if you want to, but just mention one more real quick. I remember there was this man we went to. His name was actually Brother Man.
What?
I loved it so much. But man, Brother Man, he hadn't been to church in I don't know how many years, but he was a member of our church. And I remember we went and we visited him. He was living with a couple non-members. It was interesting because we went there to teach the non-members. As missionaries often get their tunnel vision. They're like, oh, you're already a member. You don't go to church, that's fine. They're not even members. Obviously, we're going to talk to them.
Like, we need the baptisms.
Yeah, the baptisms. So we were so focused on these other people in the house. And, like, they were fairly receptive. They didn't really do anything, which is a mission problem. But we're talking to them, trying to help them, trying to get them to do stuff. And then something interesting happened as we were talking to them and trying to get them to do things. Suddenly, Brother Man, like, shows up at church by himself. Oh. And we're just like, wait, we didn't invite you to church. Why didn't we invite you? It's like, we didn't even invite you. We should have, but we didn't even invite you. And he was doing everything we were telling them to do. Oh. Like, he was reading his scriptures. He was praying. He was doing literally everything we were telling the other people to do when they weren't doing it. And we weren't telling him to do it. And he just was doing these things. And I remember, like, he just started coming. He started getting excited. He started basically trying to teach them. Being our backup.
Yeah.
And I remember the last week I was there, so he was still like a deacon. So I'm guessing he, before then, hadn't been to church in a long time. Yeah, deacon, just for those who don't know, that's like 12 to 14, 11 and a half to 14.
Something like that.
Yeah. It's changed a little bit. But a young teen, probably. It was potentially the last time he ever went to church. And after he started coming back, he started wanting to get everything on track. He started like wanting to progress in the gospel. And I remember he got ordained to be like a teacher, which is the next thing above a deacon.
Yeah.
And my last Sunday there, I remember him sitting on the stand blessing the bread and water. And it was just such a sweet experience to see. I mean, yeah, he didn't get baptized, but he came back.
Yeah.
Just as important.
Just as valuable.
Just as important. And just like seeing him not even a part of the church to blessing the bread and the water, blessing the sacrament. That was a cool experience.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
But any other last comments before we
I have a quick one.
go to okay.
I had a friend who was investigating the church. He was a really cool guy. The miracle that made us find him, that was wild. But my focus is basically along the lines of what you were saying earlier about your friend who was really grumpy and then was really happy because of the gospel. This was the same experience for him, except he was he was anxious and depressed all the time. And he just hated himself. It was so hard to see, so hard to experience, because I immediately loved this guy. He was so funny. Because he's from Louisiana, I guess.
It's the accent?
The accent and just his whole, like, he was, I don't know, he was my favorite friend, honestly, I think. One of my favorite friends. But when we first met him, he was quiet. He was very quiet. But he wanted to learn more. And so we started teaching him. And we taught him for like a few weeks. I think by week 2, we had a lesson planned. We were going to meet inside the park and everything. And so we told him to meet there. And he was there. And my companion and I, we parked, just down the ways a little bit. So we were walking up to meet him. But I remember as I was walking, I looked up and I saw him. And he, those wheelie things on shoes? He had some of those. But he was like in a little picnic area. So there was concrete and he was just rolling around. And I looked at this guy and I was like, he's so happy. I saw him and I was like, what happened? It made me so happy to see him change like that. And we sat down for a lesson and his mood had changed. He was happy. And all of a sudden, like, he talked about how he was reading the scriptures with in his free time and everything, and how like he just felt better. He just felt lighter. And he was so happy about everything. He still had anxiety and everything, but he was changed. And he would come to church, and he loved going to church and everything. And he loved praying. He started doing that more, and he just started picking those things up. But then all of a sudden, he got sick, and it stopped. He just lost the habit. He's okay. He got over his sickness, but he stopped meeting with us, and he lost the habit. He stopped reading the scriptures. He stopped praying. He stopped coming to church. And then the next time I saw him, it was like he'd fallen back into what he was. And it was so hard to watch that happen, because sometimes that happens with your friends, with the people you're teaching as a missionary. Sometimes you see them go so far, and then all of a sudden they stop, and you have to let them go. Sometimes it's not their time. And I still know he will get baptized. He is someone, one day he will be baptized, and I want to be there. Because I know he would be an absolutely incredible member. The things that he could do to serve the other members would change so many lives because of what he can do. And I know that in the next life, he would bring light to so many people because he is capable of so much, but he's not ready yet. And it's okay to admit that sometimes. You just have to move on and let God's plan take its course.
So just for a couple minutes here, I just had, when I was thinking about it, just some very practical things people can actually do to get ready for a mission. and definitely add any
Okay.
of your own thoughts for it. But I mean, just like some of the things you can do to prepare for a mission, I probably have like 5 or 6 just things, not
Okay.
necessarily experiences, but just like practical.
Yeah.
Sure.
And the first one is to do your ministering.
I'm so guilty.
But honestly, I mean, if you're going out and visiting people in the ward, you're going out with another person.
That's missionary.
Which, when you're a kid, that'll probably be your dad
Yeah.
or your mom, I guess. And doing the ministering, that right there is a good way to prepare.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
one good way to prepare.
For sure.
The next one is ask your bishop for a calling,
Oh.
because that'll give you a chance to serve. That'll give you a chance to kind of potentially get out of your comfort zone, which mission definitely is. So get a calling from your bishop. You can even tell him, I need to prepare for my mission. Give me a calling.
Yeah. Then he'll cook something up.
Yeah, he'll do something. So that would be another very practical way, is get a calling from your bishop.
Yeah. And I think that's another great way of actually, because I'm not really a big people person sometimes, but that was, having a calling before leaving on my mission was a great way for me to prepare to meet and actually start to like new people. So yeah, it's a great way to prepare.
Another one is to spend some time, maybe a summer, away from home.
Oh, that's good advice.
So whether it's a summer camp or whether it's a job or something, like spend a summer away from home,
Yeah.
because that'll show you kind of a little bit of what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
You're not going to have mom or dad or brother or sister to cover for you.
Yeah.
You're responsible now.
Yeah, you gotta cook for yourself. You gotta make sure you go to bed on time. Have a curfew.
We're not good at that.
No.
Even now.
Yeah. So like doing that would be a very good
Yeah.
practical thing to do as well.
Yeah.
Another couple things is do something difficult on purpose. Like maybe that's getting a job. Maybe that's joining a club or a team that you know will be hard for you. Do something that's hard,
Yeah.
because a mission is hard. So prepare yourself by doing something difficult.
Yeah. What was that for us?
This job.
Yeah, that's fair. Working in construction cleaning. Yeah. It was a great way to start.
Right. And then like other little practical things are like learn how to make a schedule for yourself.
Yeah.
I still suck at that.
No, but like it's important on a mission. It's so
Oh, yeah.
important.
Yeah.
It's key.
Yeah, learn how to make a schedule. Like plan out some days
Yeah.
and then follow it.
I still do it.
You
Oh,
still
yeah.
do it.
I still do it.
Nice.
You've
Like,
seen us pull out our calendar sometimes.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, let's see, what day can we do this? Not
Are you
that one.
available on Friday at 7 p.m. for a lesson?
Yeah, right. So that's a great one. And another thing is like talk to someone who knows about budgets.
Oh, yeah. That's
Whether-
important for life.
Well, yeah, that's important even beyond the mission.
Yeah.
But like whether that's your parents or I'm sure someone at your ward knows about budgets,
Yeah.
or you can get on YouTube and learn about whatever it is.
Ask AI.
Learn yeah. Learn about budgets, because on your mission, unless they have changed things, you get allotted a certain amount of money
Yep.
each month,
Yep,
Depends on where you are.
and that's
That's
what you
true.
get.
that's true. I did get more money than her just
She
because
did.
I was in Washington.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I remember more than a couple missionaries would blow all their money within like the first week, and then they
Yeah.
would just be eating rice for 3 weeks straight. And that's it.
Don't do that to
Don't
yourself.
do that.
Because they didn't
Yeah.
know how to budget.
Yeah.
It's like, learn a budget.
Yeah.
Yeah. For your own good, please.
And learn how to do your laundry and cook your own food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Out of the frying pan and into the fire, as they say.
Yeah. Learn how to cook. Learn how to do your laundry. Very practical. You're gonna be doing it.
Yep.
Yes.
Start now.
Yes, please.
So those are just some very practical things I've been thinking about. Of like, these things will actually help you prepare for a mission. If you want practical, here's some practical things.
Yeah.
Facts. Facts.
Do you have any other thoughts?
I do. I have some spiritual suggestions. And that would be go to the temple as often as you can. One of the things they recommend you do, like right off the bat when you get your calling, I think, is to go serve at the temple. I did not do that. I also did not go to the temple as often as I could, and I regret that. So do that. Also, read the scriptures every day. Do the basic, like, habits that you should be doing. Because that will help you in your mission, because you kind of you read the scriptures every day, you pray every day. You pray like 20, 30
At
times
least.
a day.
At least.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, but
No, just prepare yourself. But be intentional too. Don't just go just to do it. Go and be intentional about it. Think about the Lord, and it'll change your life. It'll change everything about it.
yeah. I think a little something to add, I guess overall, is go with the intent of creating lifelong disciples. Disciples.
In yourself
In
and
yourself
in others.
and in others, yes. You are not just there to baptize people. You are not just there, I mean, yes, you're there to learn about the gospel, but you're supposed to then act upon that and
Share it.
share it, yeah. So it's more than just going and doing it. You have to internalize it and help others internalize it too. So it's not just a thing. It's not just leaving home and teaching this one topic that seemed interesting when you were like 8, when you potentially got baptized. If that was when you were 8, if you're even baptized, I don't know. But it's just good to recognize that there is a purpose. So learn your purpose. Become familiar with it. Even before you leave on your mission, you need to become familiar with it. So that's all.
Yeah, that's good. It's like those are some very good practical. You want to prepare for a mission? Here's some things to do.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. If you want to, like in a minute or less, any last words you would want to say?
Give it to God. That's all I got.
Let
it
it
all to
go.
God.
Let it go and let
Let
God
it go.
prevail.
And just trust God.
Yeah. And it'll come in time. Give yourself some time, please. Have patience with yourself. It's going to take a while.
Long. Wow.
You gotta,
It
a
can.
long time.
It can. The last thing I just reiterate again is that like my mission meant everything to me. It made the gospel finally feel very real to me. And I think that's something a lot of people are looking for
Yeah.
the gospel to actually feel real. A mission can do that. Yes, other things can too, but a mission is almost guaranteed to do that.
For sure.
This is a very, very powerful way to make the gospel feel real. So if you have the opportunity, I know some people don't. Some people, whether because of health, whether they have mental challenges, physical challenges, they're just not able to serve, that is fine. But if you do have the opportunity to serve a mission, you better do it.
Yep.
You better do it. Well, thank you for being here with us. We told a lot of stories. We talked a lot about it. I hope you got some good stuff out of this. I feel like there's tons of good stuff here. So
There's tons of good stuff over there, too.
Whoa. Settle down.
You got 2 cheerleaders over here.
So yeah, thank you so much for being here. Like the video, subscribe, comment, share it with people.
Yeah.
Share it with people.
Share the love.
We-
Share the load.
Oh no!
Yeah, the nerd comes out.
I need to go watch that now. Yeah, share it with people. And until next time, go out there and be a good boy or a good girl.
Amen.